Good evening and welcome to NewsBREAK Live. I'm Jessie Pierre filling in for Hiba Samad. Thank you for joining us. The Torrance Police Department will be providing additional staff to assist in the St. James Catholic Church embezzlement investigation. This comes after two nuns, Sister Mary Margaret Kruper and Sister Lena Cheng have been accused of embezzling nearly $500,000 in tuition payments and donations from St. James Catholic School. Church officials say the scheme has been ongoing for a period of years and was discovered during an audit. Torrance police detectives will be examining new evidence and attempt to identify individuals who have submitted tuition checks, account payments information, or cash donations that have been compromised. And due to the scope of the investigation, Torrance police will have additional staffing available today until 7 o'clock tonight and Thursday from 8 in the morning to noon to accommodate people who need to submit any related evidence. Church officials have not pressed any criminal charges against the nuns, but do want a full internal investigation and the money to be repaid. Now, a project to repair curb, gutters, and sidewalk on streets in the downtown area is underway. This is part of the Downtown Torrance Active Transportation Improvement Project. Construction is being done along the west side of Cabrillo Avenue between Carson Street and Plaza del Amo. Lanes and work zones were temporarily closed this morning until about 4:30 this afternoon. Sidewalk repairs for handicap accessibility are also being made in the residential area at west side of Western Avenue and Cabrillo Avenue between City South Boundary and Sepulveda Boulevard. The last day of work this week will be on Friday and will resume after the holidays on January 2nd. Other projects in the works include root pruning and tree removal. A Santa Maria farm linked to the recent E. coli outbreak infections found in romaine lettuce is recalling more produce. Adam Bros is recalling cauliflower, red and green leaf lettuce out of extreme precaution. None of the products recalled have been contaminated. However, investigators found E. coli sediments in reservoir near the farm's field, and the water may have come in contact with the produce after it was harvested. Any cauliflower, red and green leaf lettuce harvested between November 27th to November 30th should be returned to the store or destroyed. There have been no reports of illnesses connected to this most recent recall. If you have any questions, you can call the company at 805-925-0339. Hundreds of students took a vow to stay drug-free and to say no to bullying. This was the scene at St. Catherine Labor School. The staff partnered with Los Angeles Police Department to make this Just Say No rally possible. About 450 students wrote and submitted pledges and vowed to say no to drugs, crimes, gangs, and bullying.
Drugs and bullying, that's mainly the cause for suicide. I feel that drugs are bad for you, and especially in my religion, drugs, it corresponds with hurting yourself, and hurting yourself isn't something that I'm for.
When people get bullied, they really start to feel bad about yourself, and like she said, it gives you thoughts of suicide to stop them from doing that.
Biggest takeaway is that police officers are their friends, and it's okay to say no to drugs. It's okay to say no to bullying. It's okay to say no to crime, and just be a cool kid and have fun, and be yourself.
During the event, the LAPD gave away hundreds of prizes. There was a hula hoop and dance contest, and some of the winners walked away with brand new bikes. This was the LAPD's 35th Just Say No rally at the school. Volunteers at the Torrance Lomita Meal on Wheels are bringing some holiday cheers to local residents. The organization has served residents of the city of Torrance and Lomita for over 45 years. They visit homebound individuals and provide them with prepared and cooked meals for the day. And for the holiday, residents got a little bit more than just a hot meal.
It's a surprise for our clients. They are not expecting to be getting a present, a gift bag with presents. And each time we deliver a meal, it's more than just the meal. It's a smile. Sometimes we have clients who don't see anyone except our volunteers the whole day. So it's a special day for them.
I'm overwhelmed. It's just wonderful.
And all the staff come every day and chat with me.
The residents were also given messages of hope. During the year, over 50,000 meals were delivered. Now let's get to the weather. Today was partly cloudy. We saw a high of 65 degrees with an expected low of 53. Tomorrow is going to warm up just a little bit with a high of 69 degrees and an expected low of 50. And on Thursday, it'll be another partly cloudy day with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 52. The California Highway Patrol is highlighting new laws that will affect roadway safety in the new year. The new roadway safety measures will go into effect in 2019. They include helmet use on bicycles and motorized scooters, hit and run on bicycle paths, and increased safety for way service vehicles. Under the law, anyone under 18 will be cited for not wearing a helmet when on a bicycle, scooter, skateboard, or skates. The minor will receive a fix-it ticket and have to take a safety course. They will also have to have a helmet within 120 days from receiving the ticket. Another law highlighted provides a safety margin for sanitation workers. When drivers approach a waste service vehicle with its amber lights flashing, drivers must move into an adjacent lane if possible and pass at a safe distance. And if it's not possible, drivers must slow down to a reasonable speed. For a complete list of highlighted roadway safety laws, visit chp.ca.gov. And the Southern California Steamers hosted their 4th annual Starlight Night Run. Dozens of families came out to enjoy the train ride under the night sky at Wilson Park. The train crawled through holiday displays and lights, giving families a night to remember. The Starlight Train event is a fundraiser to support the organization, which is completely run by volunteers. Public run days happened on the first Sunday, and the 3rd Saturday of each month. Edison Elementary School students will be seeing much more of the South Bay Lakers. The team has officially adopted Edison Elementary School. Students and staff wore gold and purple to celebrate the new partnership. The South Bay Lakers are a branch of the iconic Los Angeles Lakers and play for the G League. And as part of the new bond, the team will be pledging a season worth of activities, school beautification projects, youth basketball opportunities, as well as educational programs to the Edison Elementary School.
Coming out to an event like this is really something that is special and unique because you can see firsthand the impact that you're having on these students. The excitement that they share with us and the passion that they have for the game just makes it to be a win-win situation for everyone involved.
Certificates of achievements were also given out to the students during the event. The partnership was made possible by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, and the school adoption program is a way for the South Bay Lakers to give back to the community. And here are some upcoming events for you to mark on your calendar. Tonight, Lou Giovanetti's first holiday show with his big band, JGLG Productions, and Primo. It will take place at the James Armstrong Theater at 8 o'clock. Tickets range from $40 to $108 depending on seating. And the Dance West Dance Studio and Metropolitan Ballet Company are bringing a classic story to stage, The Nutcracker. The magical show will take place also at the James Armstrong Theater. Tickets are just about under $20, and the event will take place this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Well, in just 2 minutes, we will have Carol Gillis from the Torrance Rose Float Association here with us, and she'll give us an update on how this year's float is going and tell us some exciting plans for the following year.
You can't sit here.
Don't add her to the chain.
It was just a joke. We're not friends.
Why are you talking to me?
He started it.
She's so gross.
Lame. Loser.
Weirdo.
I've said and done things before that I'm not proud of.
Just as I've been hurt by others.
The thing is, this is not who I am. And it's definitely not who I want to be.
I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to spread gossip.
I don't want to be a body shamer.
I don't want to exclude anyone.
I don't want to make anyone feel lonely,
left out,
hurt.
We have the power to be more.
We can create a kinder world.
It's not that hard.
We just need to stop.
Take a moment and consider others before we speak.
And before we act.
Be more.
Be more.
Be more.
When
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met our niece, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me.
Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who had my back.
It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to the second half of NewsBREAK Live. Joining me today is Carol Gillis from the Torrance Rose Float Association with updates on this year's float. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jessie. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So obviously the time is here. We're back to the Rose Float 2019. How is it coming along?
We are already, our Fiesta Float designers have already built our float. We have our decorators already. They're waiting out in the wings, and we're ready to go and put on our petals and put on our seeds and get it all ready so that we can come down Colorado Boulevard and be another winning float.
Of course. Now, what is how long have you been doing this? How long have you been with the Rose Float Association?
Personally, I was actually on the float in 2012. And I've been on the board 1 year, and then the last 3 years, I'm a secretary for the float.
And what's the most exciting part of putting this float together?
I think it's the enthusiasm of our volunteers. We have an expanded list of volunteers who come every year. We have 2 days that we do sign-ups, and it's people afterwards say, oh, I always wanted to. Well, we have our volunteers set up, so be ready for next year.
So now, are you still taking volunteers?
No, we don't need any more volunteers, but we do have, volunteers for a hospitality tent.
Okay.
Hospitality provides, we do provide a lunch for our volunteers. We provide coffees and teas and snacks, and we need people in the tent in order to give out and refresh the foods, refresh the snacks, as well as we do sell some of our pins and patches there as well.
Of course. So now tell me, let's bring it back. Let's talk a little bit about the theme, Power of Music. So how did you incorporate that on the float?
Well, this year, because the theme is Melody of Life, our concept designer was a Torrance High School student, and that design went to Fiesta Floats. They ended up putting it together, Power of Music. And if you haven't seen the rendering on our website, there's a keyboard, there's a treble clef, there are instruments, and all kinds of flowers, and you feel melody when you're looking at it. And this year, of course, which was very unique to us, is we do have a band on our float, a live band. Usually it's music sound. It's going to be real this year. So.
How did you go in finding that band, and what made you guys decide to have a band on the float in the first place?
I think it was with the help of our float designer that we decided to have the band. And with the help of our float, because of that, we had to go find a band, and how were we going to do that? So between social media, conversations with everyone we knew, we put it out there that we were looking for a band. So the community outreach was great. We came back with many, many entries. We had 3 music teachers, professional music teachers, do the initial judging. Oh, wow. They brought it down to 3 entries, and the Torrance Rose Float Association Board of Directors got an opportunity to listen to all 3, and we chose 1. And the winning band were former high school students. They're now all in college from the Torrance area, and they're a band called Alinea.
Okay.
And Alinea members have been performing for many years now, all over the South Bay and Long Beach. So I'll call them professionally expanded. We look forward to putting them on, to listening to their music. They've already, they were at Fiesta floats about a month ago, so we can put them on the float, see where they all fit with their music, with their instruments, and to hear the sound and what that was going to be about. So we're excited.
So this is your first year having a live band on the float.
Yes.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced putting this one together?
Well, when Fiesta had to figure out where to put all of their instruments, and their instruments have to be hidden and all the wires have to be hidden, because we still have float riders on the plane, on the float.
A lot of people.
Yes, so there's a lot of people there, and we have a sound person, and of course you have the person who's driving the float. So we need a spot for him. So they did a great job. We'll get to see it. We're looking forward to seeing that part.
And what can we expect to hear from them?
They actually, this year, what we decided, and this was just decided, that we're providing, they are going to be playing their own music.
Nice.
So we have a special song that they will be playing as they come around the corner where all the TV cameras are, but they have their own songs that they'll be singing.
Oh, that's so exciting for the band.
It's exciting for the band, and we're excited that we can help them with the city of Torrance.
Of course.
Because they are Torrance High School students, and we like the fact, and that was part of the reason that they were chosen, is they were from Torrance. So we're looking for all of our Torrance community to watch the parade and celebrate our float.
Now, how long are they going to have to play for? Like, how long is the route?
I believe the route is 5 miles.
Okay.
But we were told yesterday that they've been known to do gigs that are 2.5 hours and they don't stop.
So they're ready.
They are ready. They are ready, yes.
So now you guys are ready to go, ready for the decoration part. So tell me a little bit about the different flowers, the plants, and other materials you guys will be using.
Well, this year it's interesting because we have flowers that are, it's going to be very pink. And there's a hot pink pink rose that will be on the float. Along with the hot pink rose, we will have tropical orchids on the float. So it gives you a little tropical elegance as well. But have you ever heard of a gold strawberry petal?
No.
Well, that's going to be on the treble clef. And then, have you ever eaten a gray lettuce?
No.
Neither have I. Well, that's going to be on the microphone. So the gray lettuce the lettuce seeds will be on the microphone, the petals will be on the treble clef. It's all these natural ingredients that we end up using and to give different gradients and shading to different parts of the float. And we're looking forward to how pretty it will look as it's coming down Colorado Boulevard.
So now, what steps go into picking out the different flowers and different materials you guys use every year for all these floats?
Well, at Fiesta, they actually have a floral designer. So he's the one that ends up pulling all that together. We're just the people who take the glue and stick it on the float. We don't know.
So how excited are you for the decorating part coming up?
Well, the decorators are ready. We have shifts of 12 shifts. Let me restate that. We have 12 shifts of 40 volunteers. And so we have day shifts and night shifts.
Okay.
If it works out that we're finished, I know last year we didn't even have the last night shift because we were done. So we'll see. So those decorators are really excited about coming. And in order to get the decorators there, we have buses. And then as I mentioned before, we feed them. So we're always looking for donations for our buses and our food. So feel free to go to torrancerosefloat.org, make a donation. We'd love to have that.
And you'll also accept volunteers to help with the hospitality tent.
Right, and we are looking for volunteers right now. So for the hospitality tent, same vein, you can contact us directly, or you can go online and send us an email if you'd like to work the hospitality tent. You will not be decorating, but you will have a chance to walk through the barn to see how we're doing.
So now Torrance has participated in this tradition for the last, over 60 years. And we touched on this a little bit earlier, but how is this for you? You know, how do you feel every time the days are coming closer to the final reveal and judging and, putting the float out there for everyone to see?
Well, we are excited this year because of the band. And we are excited to know that that's going to possibly make the difference for us for our float. either way. And we are looking forward to it. But it's just it's the craziest time of year, but then it's the culmination of all the fundraising we've done all year long. And on Friday, December 28th, the city of Torrance ends up bringing up what we call officials night. So the officials will walk through and take a look at our float and see where, how far we've gone and how we're going to be representing the city of Torrance. And at the same time, they get to visit all the other floats that are being designed in the barn.
And so now, what are some of the judging criteria that you guys get judged on during the...
Well, I believe that it's the colors, the floral, how the use of floral is, how the use of the float is based on the theme of the float. So are we in line with what the theme is? And I think we're going to be really on target for that this year. So.
I'm so excited for you guys.
Yes, yes.
So now we haven't let this float out yet, but we're already looking for designs for next year, I see.
Yes. The 2020 theme has not been officially given to us yet, but we've heard these words of hope and optimism. So what we've done is we've given that information to our Torrance high schools to start our concept design contest. And we're hoping to get the concept design in by the end of January, and by the end of January, the actual theme will be announced.
Okay.
It'll be announced at the end of January. And at that point, we'll be able to give the concept designs to our judges, one of whom is our float designer. We'll choose a design. They'll make a rendering, and then they've got to go to the tournament to ask them if we could do this. If we don't get it in soon enough, there may be another float that will take the design we wanted to do.
I see. Now, again, it's only open to Torrance High School students.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
That contest is correct. Yes.
So now, what do they need to do to actually participate?
They can go online to torrancerosefloat.org, and there is a spot there for them to get their forms. And pencil sketches, it doesn't have to be in color, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just giving us a concept. So if you take a look at the concept and what our float actually looks like, they're similar, but they're not the same.
Got it. So if you're a Torrance High School student, the applications are open, and the deadline is January 18th for the 2020 float, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
And here's the other thing, is whoever wins the contest gets to ride on the float. So that's the gift that we give the contest winner.
And probably one of the most exciting parts.
Yes, it was for me when I was on the float.
Do you have any floats that stick in your mind that you've always remembered, that you've participated in or so forth, that you've always loved?
That's an interesting question. My first float was somewhere in the 1980s. It was the Saturday night bath, and it was all about doing the bathtub, and I was sticking oatmeal on it. And I never knew what the top of the float looked like until I saw it coming down Colorado Boulevard on the TV, because I was always under the float. But that one always sticks out for me.
Aw, I love it. Now, tell me a little bit about the rose vials.
Oh, well, that's a great question, Jessie, because rose vials, you can purchase rose vials for anyone all year long. You have a 90-year-old grandmother. What are you going to give them? You can give them the opportunity to ride on our float on Colorado Boulevard on New Year's Day. That's what it is. You can go online. It's only $10. It's a $10 donation for us to the Rose Float Association, and you can make it in honor of, or a memory of, or you can say any little note on it you want. We tag the rose vials, and you can, as you're watching the parade on TV, you can go, "That's mine. That's mine."
And it's just such a special way to honor a loved one.
Yes, absolutely.
And you said you've purchased a couple, right?
I purchased 5 of them. My in-laws, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my son, everybody got one.
If there's a last message you'd like to put out there about the Rose Float, what would you like viewers to know?
Be prepared and save the date. We have a fundraiser. Our main fundraiser for the 2020 float will be May 4th, Saturday, May 4th, 2019, and we are going to do a Run for the Roses, which is on Kentucky Derby Day. It'll be at Santa Anita. We will provide transportation. You'll have food. You'll have an opportunity to watch the races. We were told we're going to be at the winner's circle, and there will be a race named after us, Run for the Roses. So get out your big floppy hats, your fancy clothes, and come out and join us on May 4th, Saturday, May 4th in Santa Anita.
And that will be a really big fundraiser for you guys.
Oh yes, we're only limited to 200, so get your tickets in soon.
And can people start buying tickets now?
I would say within the next week or so. Yes.
Okay, you'll have it open.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here and telling us everything about the Taurus Rose Float that we need to know. Again, thank you, Carol, for joining us today, and I want to wish everybody happy holidays.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you too, Jessie.
Thank you. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. Also, if you've missed any part of the show, you can catch it on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. Have a great evening.